Hello, my fellow hunters. Who's ready for some Scarlet Forest gameplay? The first ever Scarlet Forest gameplay. We're going to get an actual hunt, and what's going to be the target? Duna? Lalarbarina? In before it's just doshaguma again, but on the Scarlet Forest. That would be actually kind of hilarious. It's all doshaguma all the way up every locale. So this is the Tokyo Game Show. This is currently happening literally right now, live, and as I am saying these words, it is just past 5 in the morning for me. I've stayed up so I can, well, do this for you guys, actually see what happens and say words while it's happening, and hopefully those words will be a mixture of fun and interesting to you. So, yes, I will see you when we actually, get into the hunt, but I cannot wait. So, the base camp in the Windward Plains. Are we going to actually see the seamless transition along the river to the Scarlet Forest? Because if so, that is really exciting. And I guess we must be about to, because, we're on the wrong map, guys. You put us on the wrong map. Oh, that's awesome. And I can't get enough of my eyes upon wilds. Just seeing the herds, the doshaguma, the landscape, the bloody map. Oh, it's really good. Imagine if we could map out our lives as well as they can map out these locales in wilds. We'd all be doing a lot better. In any case, this is really, really quematrice! Yes! You know what? Even if this somehow doesn't end up on the Scarlet Forest anymore, I am really content. We're actually going to see quematrice in action on the Windward Plains. He's dropped some little feathery scales, so we've got the classic picky up tracks. That's always lovely to see, though I don't think he was a huge fan of the hunter's presence. He's so chunky, but also small for a brute wyvern. In fact, I think he's smaller than Barroth, which would make him the smallest brute wyvern, but he's so endearing. The full-on cockerel crest is really a lovely detail, and actually getting, a cockatrice monster, yeah, he is wonderful. I do wonder what kind of tier of monster he is. I can't imagine he's anything that above a chatacabra, sadly, as the basic monster of wilds, the poor lad. So it is interesting that we are getting, essentially, yes, a Barroth-esque brute to wean people in to hunting. Though that said, he might turn out to be ferociously brutal, and he's actually one of the later Windward Plains hunts. He is being led very specifically to the raptor. Oh, okay, I take it back. He's not a late hunt. He's not ferocious. He needs help. Oh, quematrice. And then you're just leaving. That's so mean. You can't do that to our boy. Oh, so I think maybe that was just happenstance that quematrice was there to mess with before we actually head to the intended Scarlet Forest. I mean, is that not Monster Hunter in the most beautiful, perfect nutshell? Because that is Monster Hunter in the most beautiful, perfect nutshell. So here we are then. This is our transition. Heading along the cliffs, alongside the river, gathering as we go. That is so nice. I really do fear for all of our computers, for those of us going the PC route, but my God, is it worth it? There'll be happening some loading trickery, the Windward Plains disappearing behind him as the Scarlet Forest is brought into existence, but actually having this physical connection. Being able in the ancient forest to walk up to the gates of Astera but never quite walk in was always such a tease of almost what could have been, what they wanted, and now we really are getting that. And here we are, the Scarlet Forest slowly taking over, and we're on the map proper. This is Zone 1. And it's instantly So pretty. You know, apart from kind of like the blood river, maybe you could argue that gives a sort of negative vibe, but come on, you'd have a splash around in it, and don't you tell me you wouldn't. Instant Lalarbarina. And actually, is that Lalarbarina really small? Was that like a really weirdly small Lalarbarina? Like mini crown level almost? Like it genuinely looked tiny compared to the hunter. Like the one in the trailer was a lot larger. So we're actually meeting our new small monster here, and I get the feeling they might actually act like the sort of meat piranha pools in Rise and Sunbreak, where you can lure monsters and they might get swarmed by them. Essentially just the raptors of the Scarlet Forest, and look at the Scarlet Forest. A lot more corridor-y. See, that one I feel like looks bigger. Maybe we just didn't get close enough to the other one, but we are off. I knew Lalarbarina would be the target. It makes the perfect amount of sense, because Duna's still too new and a big deal in the Apex, and seeing it get hunted would kind of take away from its ferocity, its legend that's being wrought, whereas Lala's sort of this perfect middle ground. And from the little look at the map we got, the Scarlet Forest is very much more windy and corridory than the vastly open windward plains, which is, you know, obvious, but at the same time a lovely immediate difference. It makes sense for this forest with its rivers to feel like that, a little bit more claustrophobic for how pretty it is. And talking of pretty it is, there's Lalarbarina showing us the ballerina in her name, as well as the flower in her, rear end. In any case, yeah, this is so cool. Her little florets paralyzing. I mean, I feel like he could have avoided that. Yeah, I'm just gonna throw it out there. I feel like that could have been avoided, but that's okay. It's nice to see it in action. Also, does this weapon have blue sharpness? Then I'm assuming so from, you know, the blue color, so that's neat. I really like the sharpness effect, the kind of frosted almost glow to it. Makes me really want to see purple. In any case, Lalarbarina is just perfect. I love the fuzzy whiteness to it, you know, it's very properly tarantula outside of all the spikiness going on the legs. So, what's the plan? God, look at the map! Are we going to have a little bit of a doshaguma turf war encouraged? It did feel like that was the intent. Yes, I feel like we most certainly are. There is so much of this I want to stop and go frame by frame by frame and find all of the little details and discoveries, and, you know, we're going to do exactly that, of course, but for now, I mean... I'm such a smile on my... We're going to be doing this for thousands of hours, and I'm so happy about it. Yes, fight. I have to assume that Lalarbarina is higher up the totem pole than doshaguma, and should just be a clear winner over like a draw of equally powerful monsters, so I'm very curious as to how this is going to play out. I mean, that's just not something you want on your back, is it? Like, you can't blame the doshaguma for being like, oh god, get it off! Get bloody hell! No, they are equalish. I suppose that makes sense, because doshaguma is sort of the middle of the desert, isn't he? The Windward Plains. You've got chatacabra as the lowest, then doshaguma, then wraith as like the core trio. So here we have something, I guess, in your chatacabra position that we've not yet seen. I'm still thinking it might be Congalala when we actually get him. Then Lalarbarina in the middle with Duna at the top. So doshaguma being equal, yeah, in that hindsight, makes sense. But also... that brutal beatdown of her is ridiculous. And then the paralysis after. Anything else on that map is the exciting thing. Of course, they know what they kind of want to show and where they want to go, but as they said when we sat down and got to talk with Jono and Joe, the CMs for Monster Hunter and Capcom, anything can happen in these demos. They're not scripted, they're not piloted, they're not even that planned in advance. They just want to get on the map, hunt, and see the monster, and anything that happens to happen that gets revealed, even if it's not something that should be yet, well, it's happening. So we really could be seeing kind of anything here. Those little paralysis shots are really nice. She doesn't seem too intense so far, but I also don't think she's even enraged at this point. So, yeah, definitely a more middle-tier monster than perhaps I was expecting. Getting a little bit of bowgun action, and ooh, that was quite the paralysis snipe. In fact, the little extendable needle there, very nursillary and very effective. In fact, almost like cart level effective, if not for that quick, cheeky mega potion. Oh, you can shoot them out the air to disperse them. I assume you can also safely poke them with a melee weapon if you don't get too close. That's a really nice little mechanic. Have your ranged hunters cover you from them. No one's going to actually do that, but the fact that you can is really, really neat. Look at her go. Has the bottom of her legs flushed extra red, or am I just imagining it? I really love it when monsters get very distinct in rage states, where there is this visual sign of, oh no, oh no, and I feel like a spider being angry is always a really good candidate for that. I love her little ballerina-y twist spins around. I wonder if she does have some sort of fully ultimate attack, though we might need to get her to retreat to her nest for that, when she can go up in the webbing, and I assume at that point you're going to have a much harder time. The question is, though, is it going to get that far? It's entirely possible we just see her get hunted without actually that retreat, though I have to imagine they deliberately want that retreat to happen to show it off. And in fact, actually, that's a really good point. We know that Duna's got these special environmental zone-based attacks with the tidal wave. We know that Ray Dow does with his lightning crystals in his nest. And we know that Lalarbarina has the actual Scarlet webbed area that she can hang from. And she's not like a main apex monster or anything, but she still gets that. So it's entirely possible that many monsters will get something like that. And more than we have ever seen before, they really are baked into their environments. They're massive environments. I know I said it's like a lot more corridor than the Windward Plains, but compared to maps even in Monster Hunter World and Iceborne, it's still gargantuan. Like this compared to the ancient forest, just from that quick look relative to where we are and the scope of it, it's something else entirely. In fact, I think where we are heading now is a Lalarbarina nesty. Yeah, this very much looks like it. Oh, that's so cool and creepy in equal measure. Yeah, there it is. Wow. So this will obviously be where you first encounter her with her little cutscene introduction, poking down from the web, but this is just magnificent. The question is, though, what does it actually let her do? Probably one of her victims right there that we're pilfering from some bones. Though we can have multiple Lalarbrinas on the same map, so the question is if they get along, if they share the space. I really like when the same monster has a turf wall, like your Diablos is off of the... Okay. Try saying a Diablos off 10 times fast and you get back to me, okay. But the point is, I think interspecies combat and territorial disputes is a really nice thing to see, as it's very interesting a lot of the time, especially with real-life animals, how they establish hierarchy within their own species and their pack, and even a rival pack at the same time. And excuse me, that's not it, right? That's not the end. Ryozo, you beautiful hammer man, tell me that's not it. Please, for the love of Yankut Goo, for the love of the new chicken, old chicken, returning chicken, tell me that's not all. I do severely want that Yankut-Ku, though. I really, really do. I'm staring at a Yankut-Ku plush, wanting nothing more in the world. You can tell it's like 5:30 in the morning, can't you? It's just Monster Hunter! Oh, what am I doing with my life? The best things. That's what I'm doing with my life. The absolute best things. And to any of you listening to this just after it goes up, instead of waking up me like, ooh, like, you know, probably a sensible person, or I guess a person in another time zone. Yeah, that too. Hey, oh, no, is that trailer? Not trailer? Yes, trailer. Lalarbarina Balakokia! But yes, thank you very much for, you know, watching this. It's really, really nice to just be part of this community, and it really is that. It's so cool. So, okay, so are we swapping? So this is the actual choose your save. That's like the pose of you, your secret, and your palico and your armor. That's so good. That's so well, it's so like epic and pretty, and like look at that sacred. It's majestic. And it's staring over in the foreground ready for business. That's wonderful. Oh, and the actual, like, the loading, the little symbols, like, every part of Wilds from UI to every little rock in every map is just so gorgeous. So we've swapped to Lalarbarina armor, Lalarbarina sword and shield. Of course, we'll have a second weapon on the actual Seikret, and a little bit there of the Scarlet Forest base camp. So now we're in the downpour, which means Duna might actually make an appearance, which, you know, makes sense. Raidow's been blasting everyone left and right through all of the previous gameplay and gamescom demos and such, so here, yeah. We also do have, look, a changed Seikret. We have this more reddy and orangey one, which might well be the pre-order one, but it might also be a confirmation of you can actually get different Seikrets within the game normally, so that is potentially quite exciting. But in any case, seeing an alternate Seikret is really, really lovely, as is, yes, that Lalarbarina armor. It's a phenomenal armor set. So the question is, yes, that looks oofdoonery. It very much looks oofdoonery. And she is a huge Leviathan, my word. Oh, there is just so much. Oh my god. Getting a bit of Lalarbarina was nice, but getting some oofdooner is nice. That belly. Oh, yeah, she really is going to interact with just the water everywhere, making tidal waves, like Super Namiel, with when she pushes you back and forth with the water. That is phenomenal. Look at her go. You can see why it's the apex of the Scarlet Forest. Just the power coming off of Oof here. And I love her color scheme. Like, honestly, this is genuinely one of the most epically well-designed monsters. I love the paralyzed in pain, the crocodile lizard in the foreground of that clash, like, oh, you guys gonna help? No, you fighting? Okay, cool. Oh my see, that's also Monster Hunter in such a brilliant nutshell. Oh, the fact that she can treat then any sort of sheet of water in the Scarlet Forest as an environment to do her attacks is so good. It's not limited to just a signature zone. I imagine the big belly floppy whale attack is limited to that zone, but in general, she is doing a lot more watery, rivery interaction than I expected, honestly. And a lot more throwing her weight around, which makes sense for such a big monster. And it really is, again, a big monster. Like, you don't often get such a chunky creature as just kind of a normal on your path through. They're normally reserved for later on more eventful hunts, but she does not care. Like, honestly, you could have told me Duna was an Elder Dragon on appearance alone and not a Leviathan, and I think me and a lot of you guys would have believed it. Yes, this is actually something I really wanted to see. The downpour stopping, going back to the beautiful sunshine, and then we get to see Duna in all her glory, the color, the brilliance, the shine on it. Wow, I am just in awe of Wilds, and is that not the most inviting water to swim in you have ever seen? My word. I mean, you know, ignore the giant carnivorous monster that'll bite you in half, but apart from that, I mean, this just seems like the perfect holiday destination. Hey! I told you! I absolutely freaking told told you that the Scarlet Forest lowest tier chatacabra equivalent was going to be the Congalala that we knew was going to be in the game because of the dual blade armor set. And thus here it is. See, this is what I love about these little game demos that they do. They don't care, they just reveal all of the things. If it's on the map, let's go do it. Fuck it, there's a Congalala, let's go run at it. And we are running at the Congalala on the way past the Lalarbarina. And the environment, every new little area, it's just breathtaking. The flora, oh, little carnivorous plants there as well. I wonder if they can actually interact or do anything. They are giving them a little look over. Oh no! No, 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 the poor little bird. I'm laughing, but I feel bad for it. That's such a lovely detail. And the fact that they stopped so we could watch that poor endemic life bird get absolutely decimated. Oh, that is tragic and hilarious, and tragic mainly. So we get a little bit of treetops. This is very ancient foresty, which is nice to see. And then the lovely bit of gliding just straight back down, of course, because if we can slowly glide, then yeah, we can just leap off the treetops, which is really, really nice. Got some more small monsters sharing the maps, which makes sense if they are connected via the river that we saw. But then, yay, the congas are here too. Of course, we thought that if Congalala's going to be in, then the little congas make so much sense. Is this its area? All of the honey? It's a massive hive wall swarming with bees. That's such a cool little bit of environment. Of course Congalala's just having a lie here. This is his bloody paradise. I mean, I guess it's more Azeroth's paradise, but still. That is amazing. Just scratching his belly. He looks brilliant in glorious 6th gen. His fur hanging off. There it is. Immediately the mushroom munch. He looks brilliant. I can't get over his hair. Oh, the classic slam and his tail as well. What an absolute glow up. Oh, and you deserve it, Congalala. I absolutely love him as a monster. Introducing in the 2nd gen, I remember so keenly getting Freedom Unite and fighting my first monkey and being blown away. Ah, the swipe, the belly. It's just, oh my god, I would stay up for Congalala any night of the week. So this is where it's at. He's so good. It's obviously Congalala, but there's been so many little subtle changes to what we know to make him that much more alive and believable. And of course that makes sense. Old gen Congalala versus new gen anything is going to be a huge upgrade. That transition to world onwards for any monster that's not done it yet is going to be magical. But they have done such a good job, especially on his buttocks, which you have to do a good job with Congalala because he uses it as a deadly weapon with regularity. Oh, just seeing those classic attacks. Oh, it's so good. I knew he'd be on the Scarlet Forest. I absolutely knew it. So he is going to be your sort of basic lower tier, then Lalarbarina, then Duna is like a classic trio, like Chatacabra, then to doshaguma, then to wraith. Obviously, quematrice is a bit of a wild card in that. I would imagine a bit stronger than Chatacabra, but weaker than doshaguma, so there might well be another one of them for the Scarlet Forest, but oh, I'm really happy to see Congalala. Honestly, I'm just as happy to see the honey wall. Oh, and you can mess with giant hives, anger the bees, and then the bees will go after the monster. That's perfect. It's a bit unfair because, you know, we did it, but I'm not going to complain at the help. But the environmental working into the hunt is better than it has ever been. Just a little subtle thing like that. Like, it's not huge, but it's just an extra little tool you can quickly use, and everywhere is filled with that to the absolute brim. Like, the detail everywhere you look is ridiculous, especially for how large the map is, for it being connected to the Windward Plains. Oh my god. This is more than I ever could have expected from this Scarlet Forest gameplay. I feel like a kid at Christmas. Oh, he's got his explosive shroom. Yeah, it's a little bit of blast explosion-y in a wild, which I guess is technically the first time we've seen a blast cloud for wild. So, you know, little thing there. Oh, is Congalala even the target? Like, I guess anything can be the target in Wilds. You just choose what you hunt, hit it, and then you're on the quest for it. But still, the fact that he's here and immediately we get to see him do everything. I really need him to enrage, though. I need to see the enrage. Like, really badly. Congalala is fantastic when he gets real angry. He's not done kind of his flying leap bounce. No, don't leave, no! At least kill the monkey! Oh, my heart. It breaks. The layers to this map. We are so high up. Look at that. That's so well done. Like the proper highlighted path through the layers so you can't get lost despite how dense and complex it is. It is such a huge locale. Like, if we still get even more locales, I assume there at least has a minimum to be a third to round out the game. Like, they are just magnificent. Like, each map is worth multiple of previous games' maps, and I don't think that is too much of an exaggeration to say. Also, this little Lalarbarina Palico Hunter setup, sharing the little hammock. Oh, having a great time. That's the lovely Monster Hunter detail and personality that you always adore to see. It really, really is. Oh, even just having the little endemic life in the cage in the pop-up tent. Maybe that's actually where you display them. In your pop-up tents in a single cage. You choose which endemic life it is. Because you don't have like a permanent home or a permanent village room. It just goes with you and you have like a mobile one. I could totally believe that. Oh, hey, Gadua! There we go. So we get to see them swimming out in the sea. So I guess that's technically another small monster confirmation. So that's really nice. I don't believe we've seen them as of now. This then, as I was saying, I'm 100% sure is the Youth Duna zone. And I believe it is. That's literally the same sticky rock wall that we saw in the downpour with the tidal waves coming over. So this, I imagine, is where she will retreat to when she's injured, or maybe just if you happen to be here fighting with her, this is where she'll do those out-of-bounds attacks that you just have to dodge, and a cheeky little bit of fishing, because why not have a cheeky little bit of fishing? I really wanted the camera to spin round and just have, like, Oof Duna there, like, excuse me? My fish? Oh, that's quite the big boy over there. Are we going to get like an example of a rare endemic life? Because that thing looks very much more than your average fish. We've got it straight away. Oh, it might just be a regular tuna-esque creation, though. It's sort of really going for it on the fishing rod. Okay, no, I think based on how involved the actual reeling in of this is, it might be something a little bit more. I'm actually so excited about this. Like, hunting endemic life is everything to me. So if this is actually something, come on, please, get it. Just pull it in. Pull it in. I want to know. I want to get a good look. Show me the fish. Oh. Unless this is just how involved every fishing is now. They've just gone all in on making it this rigorous test of skill. I mean, it is getting closer and closer, so clearly he is slowly winning this battle. And then, boom. Okay. Yeah, I think that is perhaps a rare endemic life-esque fish, like the couple we had in World and Iceborne. Like, it landed on the ground, we didn't hold it, it took ages to reel it in. That's quite the big deal and lovely to see. As is the sunset that's happening, bathing everything in that lovely glow. And yeah, there's the wedge beetle just hovering in the air, like I said from the trailer. They're just going to be around the place now as we return to... Oh, the wudwuds. So you can teleport to the hideout, so I assume once you befriend them, once you get this involved, they do just become a permanent little base for you to consistently go back to, which is really, really good. That is a happy wudwud. It's got Congalala fur. Oh, that's amazing. Just a massive pile of it. I imagine it is really soft. You can't blame them. This is so cool. Actually having a Linian tribe really fleshed out like this. Oh, I can't get over it. There's just so much to everything in Wilds. Like, to everything. And the Wudwuds are such a neat lineage tribe. I really wonder what their role is, the implication. If we're at the Wudwud tribe, you don't think that this is also the entrance to the Ankut-Ku area? If the Wudwuds live near them, they clearly live in the ruins that we see. This is literally one of the ruined buildings, so I imagine we're close to the mountains, if not already on them with the rest of the ruined buildings. And I would imagine that's where the Ankut-Ku live, if they are in this symbiotic relationship with them, if they've tamed them, etc. They're not going to exist too far away from them, if it is a herd managed by the Wudwuds, so I entirely might believe we're literally climbing up to Ankut-Ku land as we speak. Oh no, we're climbing up to rob the Wudwuds of their pile of stuff while they're not here land. That's fine too, you know. That's absolutely fine too. I assume something does happen up there. Maybe that's even where the big sort of fire cutscene with them blowing into it with the little air pipes that they've got happens. It does sound like they're a little bit confused why something isn't happening up here, so maybe something is literally supposed to be happening. Oh, maybe it's not nighttime. Maybe they come up here with the cycles of the day and night. That's why. That's actually really cool if that's the case. Yeah, here they are. It's got dark, and now the Wudwuds have come up to the roof. That's really, really fun. Yeah, look, they've all moved up because it's got dark. Oh, there's some real life to them then. Like, this is taking, like, the Gajalaka hideout bit and turning it up to 11. Really expanding it into a proper bit of wilds. Oh, I am just so happy and, like, speechless, though you'd be forgiven for being, like, speechless? Really? You've not shut up this entire time? I can't get enough of it. I really, really can't. The question is, what does that bone belong to? And also, the sky is so beautiful. I could just watch this forever. I really could. At least forever until, you know, February next year, and then I'm going to play it forever, which I think is also completely fair enough. I wonder if you can have other actual players around here too, if you've got them in the lobby with you, come have a little party with the Wudwuds. And indeed, it seems we might be literally going to have a party with the Wudwuds. It seems like you can interact with them in a more meaningful way than just flavor, so perhaps that's the case. You know, it's times like these where I really wish I could just fluently understand Japanese and I'd be getting a lot more information from the words being said, but that's okay. Yeah, that's the fire that we saw them stoking in the trailer that introduced them. The question is, does it actually do anything for you? Our handler is very keen on documenting them. She's furiously making notes. Because, of course, when we've not been here before in the Forbidden Lands, we thought it was uninhabited. If we've met and then befriended this new lineage tribe, we're going to be documenting it for the guild, so that's a nice little detail there. Is that the end? Is that all we get? Is that it? Bit more, please. Ryozo-san, come on. Oh, I think that might well be it then. Another reminder of the release date, 28th of February next year. Oh, what a glorious time that is going to be with you guys. Seriously, staying up till 5 in the morning to watch that, I mean, perfection. And actually, you know what? Shout out to Ruri, who's also got up at like 4:30 in the morning to have his little reaction to it. Shout out to the lovely Arixlot that have done the same. It's so cool to see. And of course, Jono and Joe for doing the same officially for Monster Hunter. I'm just so happy to be part of this community and with you guys as well. And that, I think, brings us to the end. There is a lot to go into there, to watch it back, to analyze everything, and as I said, we will expect it very, very soon. But for now, wow! Congalala! Yeah! Oh my god. Like you've enjoyed this, subscribe and hit the bell for more. Consider supporting the future channel on Patreon down below. And until we meet again, a goodbye.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.